Why do we get diseases? Is it because of the food that we eat? Is it because of lack of exercise? Is it because of mental stress? Or is it because of genetics? Why do some people have high immunity and they never seem to fall sick, whereas some people keep falling sick again and again? If these are some questions that you've been seeking answers to, watch this episode till the very end. You'll get all your answers in this episode. Hi, this is Vasudevan, author of Follow Your Heart, Your Brain is Stupid. Let's jump right into the show. Hi, Arun. Welcome to my chat show
Hi.
once again. It's a pleasure, as always, to have you in my chat show, and you are a very popular guest in my chat show.
Thank you so much, and it's my pleasure as well. Thank you.
Viewers, we have with us today a very special guest. Most of you know Arun because he has been featured in my channel several times. But for the benefit of those of you who have joined the channel for the first time, let me give a very, very quick introduction about Arun. Arun is a mechanical engineer and a postgraduate in management by education. He's an IT entrepreneur by profession. He's an author, a coach, a theater artist, and a movie maker by passion. He calls himself a nomad in search of answers to existence. Very, very interesting way to describe him, right? This is going to be a very, very interesting episode. And I'm going to be picking Arun's brain on a subject which most of you would be seeking answers to. We are going to talk about what is the root cause of diseases and what is the role of medicines in curing diseases. Now, when we discuss, we saw that the content is going to be too much to be covered in one episode, and I didn't want to keep the episode too long. So we decided to break this up into two parts. This episode is going to be covering the part one, where we are going to be talking about what is the cause of disease, why do we get diseases. Okay, Arun has authored 4 books, and this particular episode is going to revolve around his book, The Chemistry of Diseases, which is about to be released. Okay, I have given you a heads up that I'm going to be coming up with this particular episode, and I'd asked you to share some questions that you want me to ask Arun in this episode. Many of you have shared those questions, and I'm going to try and cover as many questions as possible. There is a big list of questions, Arun. I have a big list here. I don't think I'll be able to
Thanks.
cover all the questions, but let's give it a try. Okay, so let's get started. Arun, I have always been very curious to know, and I'm sure our viewers would also be very curious to know. You are a mechanical engineer and a postgraduate in management. Okay, you are not a medical practitioner, nor do you have any degree in medicine or on health, right? What was the trigger that led you to study and acquire such deep knowledge in the field of medicine and health? Over to you.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. As you rightly say that I'm not a doctor, and whenever I talk to people about diseases or health, I say that I'm not a doctor. I can only give you food for thought, and you do your own research. But again, where did it all start? Actually, I wanted to become a doctor. I was very good in studies. I liked biology, one of my favorite subjects, and I
Okay.
wanted to become a doctor. But what happened was at that time, maybe I couldn't pass the entrance exam, so I couldn't become a doctor. And now I actually thank universe that I didn't become a doctor, because then I could actually explore other opportunities, other areas, and not specifically to medicine or specifically to. It gave me a plethora of subjects to study and take life as a whole and not one subject.
Arun, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm thankful to the universe that you didn't become a doctor, because otherwise we may not be having this conversation. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe yes, maybe yes, or maybe not. See, that is something for the universe. See, man proposes, the universe disposes, and when universe proposes, then you will be surprised that, oh, how did it happen? So I always believe
Right.
in the universal principles of that. If you want something, you want something very passionately, the universe conspires, and universe knew that I wanted something, deep down my thought process or my soul calling, I'll say, कहीं ना कहीं मुझे I wanted to make a change in the society. I wanted something to be, to make the society realize, to make Earth a, actually I'll say that to make this planet and the universe a better place to live in. Actually, it is a very good place to live in. I'm telling you, this universe which has been. Well, sometimes I talk to universe and I say, what made you make this such huge creation? When we say huge, I don't know how huge it is. Creation, and everything is so beautifully planned, working so well. No one is overlooking anything. This is the best organization which we can see. Otherwise, I am an entrepreneur. I know I have to daily micromanage things to get the things done.
Right.
But nobody's micromanaging the whole universe. That's the beauty of it. But again, coming back to the point, yes, I wanted to become a doctor. I didn't become a doctor. I became a mechanical engineer. Then I went into IT. But somewhere down the line, yes, I had this thing. This was the area of interest. My business went bad, as entrepreneurs always have these challenges. That was almost 15 to 20 years ago. I mean, 17, 18 years ago. And I started having chest pains. As anybody would do, I went to a doctor, and the doctor was a senior in my school, a well-wisher. He gave me some tests to do, and then he said that he prescribed me a BP medicine, that you should have to take this BP, some 0.25 mg of something. I don't remember the medicine. That was a shocker to me. I said, Arun, you are not that old to have BP, blood pressure. Okay. I ate that medicine for 3, 4 days, 5 days, and then said, "No, Arun, no. This is not the way you will live your life." Because I knew one thing, that if I start medicine right now, 5, 10, 20 years, you will be having a list of medicines which you will be eating. And I saw my dad, I saw my mom, they all had those, 10, 15 medicines, BP medicine, A medicine, Y medicine. And somewhere down the line, my soul was telling me, this is not the way I would like to live. And that made me do research on things of, why this happens. To cut a long story short, that was one of the trigger points. And then obviously watching my dad become I'll not say a victim, I'll say the challenges which he faced made me go deeper into it, that what actually happens. And then obviously universe conspires. So I read good books, some of the good books. I listened to one of the mentors, I will say one of the mentors is Dr. Deepak Chopra. You should listen to his videos. He actually motivated me to get into to bridging the gap between modern science and what our ancient wisdom says.
Right.
These two cannot be separated. And that is where the first of my Dr. Deepak Chopra, I read all his books, listened to his audios, and then I did a lot of research. And mind you, all those research on myself, not on rabbits or rats, on myself. I said, let me test on myself.
Right.
And today, let me tell you that BP medicine, what, 17, 18 years, that was the last medicine which I took. For the last almost, I don't remember how many, 14, 15 years maybe. I have not eaten a single medicine. You come to my house, you will not find a single medicine in my house.
Oh,
No
that's
emergency
amazing.
medicine.
Absolutely amazing.
No
Yeah.
emergency medicine.
Okay.
I haven't ordered any emergency medicine. Nothing. अगर आप मेरे घर आ जाओगे और बोलोगे सर दर्द कर रहा है, I'll give you something alternative to do, but I won't give you any medicine.
Okay. Let me start shooting. There are a lot of questions, Arun. I'm going to rush you through a little bit because I don't want any of our viewers to feel that their questions were not taken up. I am going to try, but I don't think I'm going to be successful in that. But let me give it a shot. Yeah. So let's get started with the first question. Why do we get diseases? And people say it's because of lifestyle, it's because of the foods that we eat, it's because of not enough exercise, it's because of the mental stress and strain that we experience, it could be genetic, etc. So what would be your response to
it? I also used to think that, okay, these are the reasons for diseases, and to some extent it's right. But can I ask you a question?
Yep.
What creates a fire, the matchstick or the kerosene?
I think it is the matchstick.
The matchstick. Fine. Why do we blame that kerosene actually makes the fire work? Because kerosene in itself, or any inflammable material in itself, cannot, I repeat, create fire.
Right.
For that, there has to be a spark. There can never be a fire without a spark. Whether it is short circuiting, whether anything, there can never be a fire without a spark. Right or wrong?
Right.
So, when we say bad lifestyle, bad eating, all those things, yes, they are responsible for diseases, but they are not the root cause of diseases. If they were the root cause of diseases, my question to you is, there is a family of 6, only one person has diabetes. There may be a family of 8 sleeping in the same house, maybe most of the time, maybe sleeping in the same room, bitten by the same mosquitoes. Only one catches dengue. or maybe malaria or whatever it is. Why? Is the mosquito partial? Okay, I'll only bite that person. Six people of the same family got dengue.
No. And in fact, that was
Now
what
my
I've
next
been noticing. There are some people who nothing affects them, and some people, the smallest of things affect them.
So my question is this: where is the matchstick? The mosquito is the kerosene. The dengue virus is the kerosene. Whatever it is the kerosene. But where is the matchstick?
So the mastic is us,
Please.
right? The individual.
Yes, the matchstick is. So now, if I set up a whole laboratory and whole process of eliminating kerosenes because kerosene is making the fire work, will it make sense?
No,
Will the fire go out?
not at all.
That means where do we have to work? We have to work on the matchstick and not the kerosene because without the matchstick, kerosene is of no use. Now, my second question is this: we all know stray dogs. What type of food do the stray dogs eat? How much hygienic food or how much so-called dietary things do these animals have? How much choice do they have over their food habits?
Absolutely, very, very little, or I would say no choice because they have to eat whatever is available, whatever condition that food
Absolutely.
is. It could be, rotting
Yes.
food, it could be, dirty environment, but they have to survive. So they have that.
And how many of us feed these stray dogs or freshly made food or food good in proteins and all those things? What we actually, suggest that we should be eating. How many of us we actually give them the food which has been rotten in the fridge for 3 days and 4 days, and we say, "Yaar, koi to nahi khayega. Let's give it to the stray dog."
Right.
How many of the stray dogs have those diseases, so-called diseases like diabetes, this and that? Isn't there something which is a mismatch? That they eat the worst food, still they are much stronger. Now people say, oh, yes, because they have got good immune system. That is why, because they eat dirt, they have built up their immune system. That is where they are strong. I said that is the point which I'm saying. Why are we disturbing our own immune system there?
Right.
See, if we know, whenever I tell people that, okay, this stray dog is not getting, अरे वो तो कूड़ा करकट भी खाता है, that is why he's strong. So I said that वो कूड़ा करकट भी खाता है, that is why he's strong. और हम कूड़ा करकट नहीं खाते हैं, we eat the best and we are not strong. That means something is missing. And
I
what is
agree.
it missing is that we have actually not got into the detail of why diseases happen. And that is why we come back to the point. So this is was just laying down the foundation of that why what made me think that something is missing because I couldn't make 1 + 1 2. It could never happen. So that made me think okay, there is something else. Where is the match? And the match is obviously, which again modern science has proven it is truth that the catch lies in our thought process. The catch lies in how we think, how we think, and how we process our daily routine, daily, emotional baggages which we carry. And as I made these researches, and then I read more books. One of the books which I'll always recommend you is "Heal Your Body" by Louis Hay. Okay, I read that book also, and that made me think that yes, it makes sense. And then I made my research on that, and that's when I found out that most of the diseases, either let's say 99.9999999 diseases, are because of emotional problems, emotional challenges. In America, there was done a survey. I don't know which year, I'm not remembering, but you can always Google. All these are from the Google. Okay? That almost 90% of the people have financial challenges, and all those out of those 90% who have got financial challenges, 90% have got relationship challenges, and out of those 90% relationship challenges have got health challenges, which means they all the three things come hand in hand. You will never find, oh, I'm happy otherwise, but sad financially wise. No, a sad person is sad financially, relationship wise, and health wise. You will never say, okay, I have abundance of this thing, but I have shortage of that. Which means coming back to the point is a happy person seldom falls sick. Now, a happy person seldom falls sick. One of my colleagues posted the World Happiness Day. I
Yes.
said, so see, we have come to that extent that we have to appoint a day to become happy.
It is so ironic, right? We decide on a
It's
particular
so
day to be
ironic, man.
happy, whereas you should be happy all the time, right?
Yes, yes. So coming back to the point, yes, now diseases. Why do diseases happen? Let's first understand what is immune system. उसके लिए I'll share an analogy with you, which will make you understand that how immune system works and how is it connected with our emotional challenges and emotional blockages. Let's
Okay.
consider a waterfall which is flowing very energetically, full of buoyancy. You will find that you can smell that waterfall from a distance. The more closer you go, you can actually feel the water droplets and the coolness, and you feel so good when you
Right.
are either inside the waterfall or near the waterfall.
Mhm.
Am I correct?
Yep.
So, if supposedly some person throws stones at this waterfall, what will the waterfall do? Yes, for a fraction of a second, the waterfall will get affected because if you throw a stone, it will affect the waterfall for a few moments or few seconds, and then the waterfall will, then the stone will fall down. Is it correct?
Absolutely.
Now, suppose this waterfall had, some willpower or something, it could control the situations and it started collecting those stones. So there you throw a stone and it collects and keeps it here.
Okay.
What will happen?
So ultimately, it's the flow will get affected. It will not be able to flow
Flow
the
will get
way,
affected.
the free
So
flow.
wherever that waterfall has put his, that put that place that stone, the water will not, circulate from that portion. Am I correct?
Correct.
Now you keep on adding. Then what you'll find is one portion of the waterfall has got a lot of stones and the water has stopped flowing through that place.
Right.
After some times, there will be fungus, algae, all developing there because fresh water is not falling through that. And the waterfall will be flowing fine this side, but this side, there will be, collection of all the negative aura, negative energies. And suddenly, a waterfall which was, flowing so buoyantly and it had such a good presence, it suddenly gets down. And that's how waterfalls die. And after some few maybe months or years, if it still keeps on collecting, one day the waterfall will die or it will become a stinking water pool.
Right.
Human beings also do the same thing. When we are faced with emotional challenges, and obviously while we are living, we'll always face challenges. If we act like the waterfall, obviously we won't be collecting those stones. So that energy, what we said, see, the energy flows like this. As I stated earlier, also that if you see a picture of a person meditating, it is depicted like this. That person is sitting in a triangular Padmasana position, and the energies flows through these chakras like this.
Right.
Now, this is the energy waterfall. And
Mm.
as long as this energy waterfall is flowing, your immune system is strong. People can smell you from a distance, which I said, na aura, will smell you in the sense people will know your intention. In your presence, they will feel so cool and calm. That's why whenever you visit some saintly person, you say, क्या इनके साथ बैठते ही ना मुझे बहुत मजा आता है. वो क्यों
Mm.
आता है? Because his energy water flow is so pure and it's so abundant that you can feel the presence even if you're not sitting next to him.
Right.
And sometimes when you meet a person and say, "Yeah, he's such an obnoxious person," the reason being is that the aura is telling you that I am stinking. So you can actually, smell the stinking water also from a distance.
Mm.
Similar to the previous analogy.
Right.
So coming back to the point, yes, the energy should flow. Now, wherever there is a bottleneck of this energy, that portion will be first affected. The energy will stop flowing from that portion. And then if it keeps on prolonging, then it will affect the organs. So always understand, first the emotions are challenged, then the emotions challenge the organ, then the organ starts malfunctioning, then after malfunctioning, the symptoms arise. So
Got it.
whenever if someone says, okay, you are diabetic because you have stopped producing the insulin, my question always was, who switched off the insulin button? So I'm asking, where is the match? Somebody must have switched on that light, na, that switch on, okay, stop producing insulin.
Right.
This is what is basically, and this actually, see, if we say today, if we divide those diseases into two categories, there are two categories. One, which we say, as modern science says, is lifestyle diseases, and the second is the contagious infectious diseases caused by viruses, bacterias, or worms, and etc. etc. See, I'm totally speaking in the layman's language and not in the language of a doctor or any of those jargons, because I want a common man to understand. A common man who doesn't understand any biology or anything should understand it in a very simple way, that why diseases happen. So that's why
Right.
I'm giving you these analogies also. So we have established this, and even modern science says that yes, your immune system is the root cause. The matchbox is the immune system and not the symptoms and other things. the lifestyle, or because we already discussed that even dogs, all those creatures, they eat bad. How many of the people love stray dogs? Out of a society of maybe 4 to 5,000, I have my society where almost 50 to 60 people daily complaining about the dogs, and they treat them like, they'll throw stones at them. There will be only 5 or 10 people, one like me, who will be feeding them and, giving them love and everything. So
Right.
they are not having a very good lifestyle. But when I see their health, I say, yeah, how can you be healthy? They don't catch worms. I had a pet. It was a small, I don't remember the species. That was long back. And I thought, मैं इसको ना vaccination नहीं कराऊंगा, मैं इसको, so. But that pup died because he had all those insects. And then when I said, why did he die? The doctor said, इसको तुमने वो कराया नहीं vaccination. मैंने कहा, but the pups which are, born on
On the
the
road.
street, nobody vaccinates them, and I have never seen them die because of the this thing. And this is a breed. That's a stray indie pup. We say indie pup, and this is a breed. This is
Mm.
supposed to be, much better, precious. People pay money to buy these breeds, and these are the stray dogs. People just kick them out. Why is it that they are not infected?
Right.
Again, it comes to the same thing, because they have better immune system.
Mm.
So coming back to the thing, why diseases happen? First thing, yes, our immune system is weak.
Mm.
Period. Nothing else.
And this
Would I agree with you?
immune system, as you said, is affected by our emotional baggages and emotional blockages that happen, right? You said one is the lifestyle diseases, right? Because of all these emotional things and all. The other one is the where people get affected by, say, viruses. And for example, so many people suffered because of the COVID, etc. And the common cold is a virus, is the most common virus, right? But what really happens, when a virus attacks an individual, what really happens? What actually creates that disease, that symptom of, say, cold, or flu?
Mm.
Why do we get that?
Mm. Okay, a very interesting question. First of all, when you said virus attacks,
Mm.
can you elaborate what does it mean? Attack means what?
It's
So
the
what?
virus, we are gone somewhere and somebody is having a cold. We are there, and the virus comes into us, and slowly we also start catching the cold, right? That's why we always say, be away from that person who's having a cold, etc. So it is now, it's got a new a fresh body to enjoy.
Acha, my question to you, when you say virus attacks, obviously we are thinking that a virus is coming from outside, because anybody who comes from outside only attacks. Is that so?
Yep, that's my understanding.
Can you just Google and find out that how many viruses are? First of all, what is a virus? Virus is a organism. I'll not say even organism. It doesn't have any intelligence. There's
Mhm.
zero intelligence. I'll say creation, to be just a layman's language.
Mhm.
Uh, it cannot survive in a non-living body. Is that correct?
Okay. Yep.
See, viruses can't survive in something which is not living.
Mm-hmm.
So either it will live in a bacteria or live in some plants or some organisms. So can you just search and find out that how many viruses are there in our body which we are carrying right now?
So you want me to Google it? Okay, let me just
You may Google it.
okay, let me. I'm just
So
Googling
we
it.
are
I'm sharing
okay,
the
perfect.
screen. Let me just check it out myself because I'm
Uh,
quite curious to know
online.
what
Okay.
this is.
Till that time,
Yeah.
I'll keep speaking.
Yeah.
So when we say that virus attacks, so what are those 30 trillion viruses doing inside our body, and why they actually were there inside our body? This is something. And
Mm.
not only viruses, bacteria, anything. We are actually a composition of virus, bacteria, worms. You tell me, and that is there.
Yeah. Arun,
Friendly.
what is this?
How
Yeah.
much is it? Oh my God,
It
380
has been
trillion. Sorry,
evaluated
sorry,
that
sorry. My mistake.
there are
It's not.
380 trillion viruses present inside us.
Yes,
It's
much more.
unbelievable. Yeah, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
380
Yes.
trillion. I mean, a normal human being will have about, say, 30 trillion cells or what. That's my what I remember. And you're saying you have more more viruses in our body, our cells. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is
Absolutely.
crazy, crazy, absolutely. Okay,
Absolutely.
go ahead. I mean,
And this number is higher than the number of cells which we have.
yeah.
Now, my question is this: what are these trillion viruses doing in our body? did we have these viruses? Because yes, these are all essentials. Why they are essentials? Let me tell you. Where most of uh, the modern researchers are going bad, because we are becoming judgmental. See why we are why I'll say we are becoming judgmental, and why these viruses are good for us, because they are there for a purpose. If you see this whole, like I started, this whole universe is in balance. When you say it is in balance, how do we have in balance? Have you ever seen a seesaw? Now the
Yeah,
seesaw is always in a balance. Why is it always in a balance? Because it has got two sides.
right. And a
So
fulcrum
when
in
one
between.
side goes,
Yep.
so when one side goes down, the other side goes up. When other
Mm.
side goes down, the one side goes up. So that is why it is a balance. What if it had only one part? It will not
It
move.
cannot move up.
So when there is, whenever we say there is a balance, which means there has to be something positive and negative to counteract each other, then we'll be in balance.
Got it.
That means if somebody is taking birth, somebody should die. Am I correct?
Right.
So universe is in balance because universe said that there are so many bacterias, good bacterias, there are so many bacterias, bad bacterias. They both are required so that there is a balance.
Okay.
There are rich people because there are poor people.
Mm.
If there are no poor people, what will happen? Tell me. If today we say the poverty should go, I say where will poverty go? Let me give you a very good analogy. These are set of poor people. These are set of rich people. Okay, I'll eliminate all these poor people. What will happen?
Even the rich will become poor.
Absolutely. So in order to balance, the poverty line will not be 10,000. Now the poverty line will be 50,000, and suddenly there will be a balance. Poor people, rich people.
Mm.
You cannot eliminate the bad bacteria because the bad bacteria are required for the good bacteria to live, and the good bacteria are required for the bad bacteria to live. If you challenge anything, if you kill the bad bacteria, the good bacteria will become bad bacteria.
Mm.
Simple analogy,
Right.
and this makes common sense. And moreover, today we are talking about good bacteria, bad bacteria, but when this research started, they used to kill all the bacteria,
Mm.
irrespective of good or bad. And then suddenly somebody did a research and said, oh, there are some good bacteria also. So we should not be killing those good bacteria. But if you don't kill those good bacteria, you kill those bad bacteria, the bad bacteria will vanish and the good bacteria or the good virus will come here. And then again it will become, and then we term it as a name called mutation. Suddenly they mutated.
Oh, okay.
Now, my question is this: if the universe, if the creator of this universe, who's created, if you go to the universe, you will be surprised that even if we travel at the speed of light, that is 3 lakh kilometers per second, in order to just cover the horizon, yani just to go from this horizon to horizon. When I say horizon, is the small speck of the whole universe. It will take 1 lakh years to cover that distance. There is someone who has created such a huge universe, and that person doesn't know why he had those 380 trillion viruses in your body. Was it a big mistake he did? No, there must be some purpose. The purpose is the balance which is required.
Mm.
Now what happens is, why do we get the other types of diseases when we say viruses and all? Because these viruses are happily living inside. It's like, I'll give you another analogy. You have a dog and you feed that dog properly, you love them and everything. The dog is there, the dog protects you, the dog is there. It will bark at the people who come from outside, but won't bark at you. Everything is fine. Now you stop feeding the dog. you
Mm.
know Google this also. In western countries, mostly people live alone and they have their pets, and it has been documented that when the owner dies, and for so many days, when this dog or cat, especially cats, do this also, this research also, you'll find this cat has started eating the owner.
Oh, okay.
Now why did it eat the owner? Because it was not fed.
Mm.
What if, even if the person died, but the cat had ample food, it would not have eaten the owner?
Okay.
Does this analogy ring a bell? The viruses which are living inside you, if they are not well fed with your, the food which you eat, the thoughts which you have, and everything, and they are happily living, they will not bother you. So that is why
Oh.
these 380 trillion viruses are not bothering you, because they are happy. It's like you have your house, but your house has got a lizard, they have got some cockroaches, they have got some mosquitoes, they have got some spiders. All are living well. While you are sleeping, the cockroaches will come out, the lizard will. They're all living happily. No one is bothered about anything. There might be a rat also. And if the rat is well fed, that rat will also do nothing with you. The moment there is scarcity, the survival instinct comes in. And mind you, we only come to know about the virus when there is a symptom.
Got it.
So when there is no symptom, we say he is a carrier of the disease. Everyone is a carrier of the disease because we all have 380 trillion viruses. Does it make sense? See, I'll say, don't believe in me. Use your common sense. So
Right.
common sense tells you that if there are 380 trillion viruses, there are and similar number of bacteria inside you, there has to be a purpose. And the purpose is to maintain balance. Somebody has to kill your cells so that the new cells will regenerate. What is cancer? Your cells are not dying. Am I correct? Layman's language. So that means you are dying because the cells are not dying. The cells have to die for you to live. Coming back, there is something which we are doing wrong. And that thing is we are not maintaining our immune system, and that's it. You don't need anything else to fight diseases. You need only how to control your immune system to be like that waterfall, which takes the stone for a few seconds. I don't say the waterfall is not affected by the stone. See, no, the waterfall is affected by the stone. So you cannot say, oh, I'm an emotional being. Shouldn't I be sad? Yes, you should be sad. If somebody dies, you should be sad. You should experience that emotion. If somebody does wrong with you, you should experience that emotion. The emotions are there to experience. It's like a buffet. Eat it, but don't take it home. So coming back to the point again, when I say diseases, could I explain that why we are wrong and we are only trying to kill the viruses and it's like trying to kill the dog so that the dog don't eat the owner because the owner died. Doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Does it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's a great analogy. As usual, you are a master of analogies. So it was another good one. Okay. Let me quickly summarize what you're saying. What you're saying is there are two sides. One is lifestyle disease, the others are which we contract because of viruses, bacteria, and all. And they are already there in the system. If your frequency, your vibration, your thought processes all are in the negative, you have that emotional blockages. It affects the immune system, and that results in the diseases and all. Is that right understanding?
It's like this. Let me give you another analogy, a good analogy. Now, supposing you are the owner of a gym and you are the strongest person there, and then there are other people who are not as strong as you, but they are living with you congenially because you have the strongest, you are the most powerful, and there are 10 people who are there who are also strong but not as strong as you, so they obey your command and they are under your control. Fine. Now what happens, as long as you are strong, these other 8 or 10 people, like Sardar hota hai na, there is a Sardar in a gang and the Sardar is strong, so
Leader.
the others don't revolt.
Right.
So they won't revolt. Now suddenly you become weak. You stop exercising, you become weak, whatever may be the reason. And one of the inhabitants, 8 to 10 inhabitants, fights, Arey yaar, you are now weaker than me. And then he will start revolting. As long as you are strong, he won't revolt. The moment you became weak, that person started revolting, and suddenly he said, out with you, I am the king here. And suddenly people say, Arey, kal tak to everything was right. Aaj ye kaise Sardar ban gaya? नहीं, वो सरदार बना नहीं था. You became weak. So out of those 380 trillion cells, as long as your immunity, you are strong, they are all with you. But the moment your immunity goes down, there is one virus which comes up, and now this virus starts playing havoc. And suddenly the researchers will research on this virus, they'll make a thesis and will say, okay, this is the virus causing this disease. No, this is not the virus causing the disease. This is what is causing the disease. This virus was already there. The coronavirus is not today's virus. You make a research, the coronavirus has been there since ages. It's not today's age. Find out. So what was that coronavirus doing at that time? Because at that time, we were here.
Got it.
The immune system, today the immune system of general public is dropping. Why is it dropping? It is dropping because why did that person stop exercising? Now let me give you another analogy. You'll say, oh yeah, he was a big shot. Why did he stop exercising? Because somebody came and said, yeah, why are you exercising? Let me give you 4 bodyguards. They will do your job. Why do you stop? You should actually, now it's time for you to relax, comfort zone. And he will say, okay, he stopped exercising without knowing that he's become dependent upon those 4 bodyguards. Now, suddenly, because he depended on the four bodyguards, this person stopped exercising. Now he's become weaker. This person has become now stronger. Not because he was exercising more or he had that capability. He was there itself. This person got weaker. Now this person shuts those bodyguards out and says, "Ki boss, I'm stronger." And now the person says, "Well, now you not need four more bodyguards to counter challenge this," and the endless cycle, and you go into that endless cycle of keeping bodyguards, and suddenly you find, "Arey, I have only 10 people inside me, but 20 people bodyguarding me for against these 10 people who are inside me."
Right.
I don't know. Well, sometimes I get confused. I am trying to bring in bodyguards to, save me from the same people who are actually inside my house. So those viruses are inside my house. And I need someone from outside to protect me for these viruses. It doesn't make sense to me.
Hmm. No, no, I think it's a very, very nice analogy that you're giving to explain this. When I think it's food for thought for people, guys. Think about what he has shared. I'm sure you will be able to relate to what he is saying. Arun, there were many more questions, but what we did is that we are able to get down to the crux of the thing as to why we get diseases. And viewers, I am sure this would have been an eye-opening session for you. It was for me. The fact that we are having 380 trillion viruses and we are still hale and hearty, it was an absolute shocking revelation for me. Whatever were your takeaways, do post your comments. And if you did find value, do like and share this episode with those who you care for. As I said, this is only the first part. The next episode, we're going to be covering something even more interesting than this. This was the basics. The next one is going to be absolutely mind-boggling session. Once you are afflicted by any disease, what should you do? How do you combat it? Do modern medicines really cure us, or are we relying on them in ways that we shouldn't? This is something which we need to ponder over.
Yeah, I would like to add that don't take whatever I say. See, first of all, I'm not against anything, so don't become judgmental that this is something movement against something. This is creating your own awareness. Use your judgments. Whatever I'm speaking, I always try to prove myself wrong. The more I try to prove myself wrong, the more evidence I get not to prove myself wrong. So that is what I was
Yeah.
wondering, that am I right or is something wrong which is happening? So what I challenge you is, don't take all what I have shared or what we have shared as a diktat. Do your own study. And
Right.
if you relate to it, if you find that yes, there is some truth, then we will tell you, okay, how to be healthy living. You don't have to be healthy to go to Himalayas. You
Mm.
can enjoy your life. You can enjoy I enjoy my samosa.
Mm.
Period. I don't dictate this thing. Oh, don't eat samosas and you will be. No, samosas are made to be eaten. Obviously, yes, in certain proportion. But I enjoy each and I'm a chef myself. I like cooking, so I use oil. Everything. Still, I don't take medicines. So there is something which we can do. It's not कि बिल्कुल एकदम saint बन जाओ तो तुम्हें healthy रहोगे. Otherwise, you can't be. No, you can. So use your wisdom, and thank you so much, Vasudevan, for giving me this opportunity, because this is something very dear to me, and I want to share it with many people. No anti thing for anybody. No, 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 no grudges against anyone. It's just a matter of creating awareness. Think about it.
Absolutely. In fact, when you said about this eating and all, I remember my father always used to say, Vasu, eat whatever you can digest. He'll never have any restriction and he would eat any street food, nothing would happen. Huh? He was, till the time he passed away, his immune system was very good. I've hardly known him to have any loose motion. He'll eat everything and, he was pretty good, pretty healthy, right? There's no issues. And that is what you're saying, it's not, taking medicines or anything, but internal immune system is what is going to keep us healthy, right, and keep us away from all the
Absolutely.
covids and the
Absolutely.
influenzas and all the and the flus, right?
And also, let me add one thing. I used to catch cold very often, some 15 years ago. My friends used to say, यार इसको तो ना permanent जुकाम रहता है, 365 days, permanent जुकाम रहता है.
Mm.
ठीक है? People who have known me for the last 10 years or 12 years, and people who are working with me, they will vouch for it, that in the last 10, 12 years, I haven't even caught severe cold.
Okay.
That also is matter.
That's
And at the same time, let me also add, I do my business. I am an entrepreneur, And if you say, okay, his life is very easy, no those hiccups and all. No, the moment I end this podcast, I have to get into the daily hassles and routines of working. Ye nahi ho raha, wo nahi ho raha, aisa nahi ho raha. So the life is much tougher also. What I'm trying to say is, I don't want you to say कि अरे नहीं 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 ये नहीं अरे नहीं. With all the tough challenges which you have in your life, your relationship challenges, your financial challenges, any challenge which you have, which I also face, still you can be medicine
Right.
free. That
Completely.
was the awareness which I wanted to.
Completely agree. In fact, viewers, in the next episode, I just wanted to add, Arun is going to be exposing some dark secrets of the healthcare industry. Also, it's going to be very very interesting. So don't miss it out. Any of you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification as soon as we publish the next episode. Those of you who have already subscribed, nothing to worry. You'll get the notification. Okay, Arun, thank you very much for being with us. And guys, if you have any specific questions that you would like me to take up with Arun for the next episode, feel free to write in the comments. To get the answers to those questions in the next episode. Okay. Arun, thank you very much for an amazing session.
Thank you so much.
It was
Thank
really
you.
wonderful, and I can almost feel this 380 treatments virus is moving around my body.
Make friendship with those
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pets. These
Yes,
are
yes.
the pets. These are the pets inside you.
Yes, yes. Yep. And viewers, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for joining us and being with us till the very end. As always, it's a pleasure serving you. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you in the next.